A month ago, I decided to make my first sourdough starter. And all I can say is, I had no idea how difficult that was going to be for me. It had nothing to do with finding out that there was no way to determine when the starter would start its fermentation process, when it would stop, or was trying to figure out what was the proper ratio to use to get it started. None of that was an issue. The problem was, I had no idea how mentally of a chore this was going to be for me. The recipe I used was a 7-day process. So day 1, I pull up the recipe I'm using from ChatGPT. It called for 1 cup of whole wheat flour, half a cup of water. Easy. Mixed it up in the biggest mason jar I had on hand, lightly covered it with the lid, even labeled it. So my family knew not to touch it because they have a habit of messing with my bread attempts. Oh yeah, y'all was supposed to get another bread video a while ago. You see why that didn't happen. Anyway, back to this one. But for whatever reason, day 2, 3, and 4, I was struggling. I managed to flip the amounts of both the flour and the water just that fast. So instead of the correct amount, a cup of flour and half a cup of water, me, myself, and I switched it to a cup of water and half a cup of flour. Like, are you okay? It was just 24 hours. What happened? But for day 5, I do finally look at the recipe and I go back to the 1 cup of flour, half a cup of water. But remember, I'm still trying to fix it so I don't use the entire half a cup of water. Still trying to get a good balance of what I feel like the starter should be at. And for day 4 and 5, I felt like I was getting back on track. Enough so for day 6 to look like this. But do you feel like the starter was active enough? Now before I end this, I'm so glad to see a lot of people are enjoying my suffering in making this bread content. And hey Tasha, I hope you enjoyed the next video too. A month